Hello Taurus, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is your eclipse reading, your full moon eclipse in Cancer reading from the 10th of January, a few days late, but these energies will drift out up to 6 months. It is a new spread that I've done just for this new moon eclipse. So if you have checked in my other readings, you'll know what it's all about. If you don't know your other placements, at least check your rising, your moon and ascendant. That's specifically what I've asked for in these readings. So in the center, we have a success that you'll enjoy during this lunar eclipse. In the second position, we have what you should set your intentions towards. In the third is something you should avoid. In the fourth, it's a challenge that you'll soon face. In the fifth position, it's a helpful resource that you should seek out that will help you on your path. In the sixth, it is an effective way to raise your vibration, feel more positive. And the seventh is a special message from the universe. So Taurus, if you're not familiar with my readings, I do get some music and lyrics come through. They will be in the drop down box below. What I've literally just had through, I actually laid this last night, but it felt so heavy and I was quite tired and I just didn't want to read it, you know. I wanted something a bit easier. So I've left it all day and come back to it. I got Maneater on this, so specifically, oh, here she comes, watch out boys, she'll chew you up. The beauty is there, but the beast is in the heart. I do get the feeling this is someone that you've dealt with before, Taurus. All of these readings are either about releasing someone or reconnecting with someone. Basically, that's what the whole theme seems to be. I asked who I was reading for, and I have got my back spirit. A rebirth is assured with the fox and the ring. So yeah, this is with the back being here, this is like something had already finished, you know, it's run its course, you maybe released it, it's died, but this is a promise of a new beginning, not necessarily with the same person, but I do think it is, I have to say. And this is where I go, oh, here she comes. This kind of feels like you're in unknown territory. You may feel a little bit lost just now and having difficulty trusting your intuition. I think you have got a lot of doubt about this. And Taurus, you should have a lot of doubt, or at least some. Because I do have the fox here with the ring. The ring is about partnerships, commitments. It's also about cycles repeating themselves. It's a little bit like a mini karmic wheel, in my opinion. And I do have the fox here, and this is deceptive and manipulative energy. So something's not exactly, you know, straight. There's something that's probably been hidden from you. It's a bit, you know, duplicitous. The fox isn't all bad. He certainly verges on the negative to the neutral, depending on what's surrounding him. And certainly the ring is quite a positive card. So it's more of a red flag, I would say, at this point. So a success you will enjoy during this lunar eclipse. This doesn't look like much of a success, but it does get better. My angel in love in reverse suggests that there is a disconnect in matters of the heart. This could have been a divorce or separation. I mean, you may still be connected to this person, maybe just superficially, might be on a deeper level, but you're very much on different pages just now, heading in different directions. And this can be an old separation, but there's some sort of possibly unrequited love here. It's like a longing still remains, at least in one person's heart. And coming back to the rebirth is assured. Everything else around this looks really positive. I've got my fairy who was kissed by the pixies up first. Sorry about the angle. My tripod's broken. It's sort of balancing against the wall. This is a bit like the Lover's card in your Rider-Waite tarot deck. So this is a time to open and heal our hearts. It's like love therapy. So it does feel like the healing of a relationship that has previously broken up, that I think you're probably very nervous about. It's almost like open heart surgery here. It feels pretty raw. But it does suggest all things good here for the success. Taurus, I have the fish here, and this it's usually a business card, a money card, but in this combination I would specifically say it suggests abundance here. with regards to the lovers, the heart card, and the child. This is a new beginning in love. Quite simply, that's what it is. So something fresh, something new. And because I've got my rebirth and my angel of love and my love therapy, I kind of feel that someone is coming back from your past during this time. And I think that's making you pretty nervous, and you're really not sure how to handle this situation, because it may have been a very bad breakup, or there has been some deceit, maybe around an engagement, with the ring being here. It could be that. In terms of what you should set your intention toward, I've got Archangel Uriel, which is your crown chakra, and the singer of the chalice, which is a bit like the Ace of Cups. So this is kind of connecting to your intuition, really, and connecting to spirit as best you can. Asking for guidance, really, you know, before you go to sleep. Ask to be shown what you need to be shown about this person. Ask to be shown the way forward. I did get on this. It's so good. I'm in love. You may have a very spiritual connection with this person. You may connect with them telepathically. You may dream about them a great deal. But this is suggesting that you be open to unconditional love. But you use your intuition, and your intention is to actually work on improving your intuition. I mean, if it's not connecting with, you know, the spirit realm, if that's not your thing, it could just be having a very, maybe a friend or a family member, usually is a member of an ancestor in spirit. I'll be honest, it's not usually someone in the physical realm that you would ask to connect to, but if you have got someone who has passed, then it may be them specifically that you ask to send you a message in some way, because I sort of do feel you need some guidance here, and this is what you should set your intention towards. But with it being your own intuition, your own connection, I think that's paramount. I'll come on to a message from the universe, which is sort of suggesting a similar message, but this could be more of a 3D thing. I think you need to be careful not to involve too many people. I think this decision needs to come obviously primarily from you, but you may need a little help, a little nudge in the right direction. Something you should avoid. This is an odd one, I have to say. The door to personal healing and happiness, yeah. This is kind of weird. I have got Oh That Gnome in reverse, which makes it a little bit clearer for me anyway. Now, it kind of might be suggesting, Taurus, that you're actually not ready for this relationship just yet, that you have got some work to do in yourself before you enter into a new relationship. So if it does come up, you may still be healing from it. You may still be very unsure about it, and if that's the case, it's kind of suggesting you avoid it for the time being until you're that bit clearer. But in the main, what you need to avoid is this trickster energy. This is either yours or the person that you're dealing with. This is a general reading, can go either way. And this is incredibly tricky. And it's not just, when he's in reverse, he's kind of perverse. He's also tricky in other realms as well, because this is my fairy oracle here. So it's almost like I feel that you're maybe asking for guidance, and you're being confused by the messages that you're getting. So it's like someone's messing with your head even while you're asleep. You can't get a clear picture of how things should be. I did get on this, I'm trapped and I really don't want to lose you, but I don't want them to hand me over to the hands of the law. I'm so confused, trapped, I can't get out. Yeah, I do kind of feel that you're struggling here. Let's just say you're struggling. But the trickster, my Oh That Gnome in reverse here, this is suggesting being stuck in old patterns again. It's someone who's very unreliable. It's someone who's pretty drunken, who has clouded vision, and they just keep making the same mistake over and over again. Now, coming back to the ring here with the fox, I'm kind of getting that impression. So you may be worried that you're stepping back onto the karmic wheel with an X here, and seeing the signs, and that's what's confusing you, because you're maybe still very drawn to this person. I do have it with my man and my dog card. So this would suggest, if it's not a romantic relationship, it's a loyal friend that you're maybe looking to reconnect with, or indeed that you're very loyal to this person. But I do have the Avenger here as the archetype for my man, a desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. I mean, it's all, this man does seem all really positive, but that gnome might just suggest that you're incredibly confused, and currently what you maybe need to avoid is maybe even being overly loyal to someone that you've had your doubts about, that maybe has tricked you in the past. That's something to think about there. Yeah, but with all that gnome, I sort of do feel that you need to watch that you're not getting back into an old cycle here. Yeah, I feel your confusion even looking at this, because one minute I'm like all in here with my lovely singer of the chalice and bringing it back, and it's all fabulous and you can have all this, and then you have all these doubts creeping in. So the challenge that you'll soon face is actually the journey, the Tobias of the waters. So possibly moving on from this emotional connection, possibly dealing with your own emotional fluctuations. This has got a very fluctuating energy, and trying to calmly deal with the situation. I mean, you might actually be moving house or relocating for your job or for personal reasons here. And it's going to be a challenge, but in the main, the challenge is going to be affecting your emotions and trying to maintain your balance during that time. I sort of feel that you're not, the challenge is actually looking at this and maybe in a deeper level, and looking at why you're very much on different trajectories here, or why that has happened in the past, again to try and avoid repeating the same patterns, you know. And when I was shuffling, I did get at the base of the deck, not the base, they just fell out, the cross and the clock, and it would kind of suggest that you feel that there's a burden on your time here, either to, you know, mend this relationship or make a decision, or I think it's more of a case of you feel under pressure to act in a situation. And with all that gnome being here, it's possible that you're maybe not in a position to do that, Taurus. You maybe just don't feel stable and sure enough of how to proceed, but for some reason you kind of feel you're up against the clock here. So what I would say on that is that, you know, any decision that's made out of some sort of fear or pressure, guilt, shame, whatever it may be, is usually a bad one. So, you know, you need to make sure you're in a good place, and it comes from, you know, a feeling of love and joy and excitement, all the good stuff, not because you feel forced into making a decision quickly, because you know it's very easy to get into stuff, but it's damn sight harder getting out of them. So make sure you take your time, however much you need. There is a caveat with that, obviously, because, you know, opportunities can pass us by, and that's the kind of consequence of not taking the actions that we maybe should have done. So just throwing that out there. And a helpful resource, I think this is coming back to healing your heart again. There's some sort of, oh, you're always going to be together in electric dreams. Yeah, I really do feel it is a very strong connection. I think you think of this person a great deal, and it could be the other way around. Yeah, Taking the Self is having like a real 180. I think there is going to be something, a spark, a catalyst that's maybe going to help you in terms of healing your heart. It's probably going to involve some sort of isolation here with my Tower card. This is a card of withdrawal, of loneliness. It's actually setting your boundaries, having really clear boundaries around your heart. So this is what's going to be helpful for you, setting boundaries, taking a time out, healing your heart. But there is going to be a catalyst here for this Taurus with Taking the Self. I always do see it as a bit of a catalyst. She's very, it's very quick. It's you know, a real handbrake turn. She does suggest that you avoid any sort of excess in any way. And I'm mentioning that because though that gnome is excessive, he can be a bit of a drunkard. So she has excellent ideas, but, you know, uses her mind wisely and never overreacts. But the advice is still to, I kind of feel it's saying take your time. Don't feel pressured by this time that you feel that you have got the clock ticking on you here, because I kind of feel that's going to work against you in the long run, Taurus. And excuse me, raising your vibration. I have got the appreciation card, and this is about mindfulness. This is about focusing on the good stuff in your life, however small it may be. She literally has one rose in amongst an entire garden of, you know, thorns, thistles, and all sort of nasties, and she's just got her back turned to it, and she's just focusing on the one rose and its scent. So it is about being really grateful for the smallest, you know, pluses in your life on a day-to-day basis, sending out gratefulness, because I think you have been struggling. I've said this already. I think what Epona is showing me here, Epona with Iris. Yeah, I don't know if you're dealing with someone who's a wee bit selfish here. Epona's wild daughter is the card of nightmares. Is being very stuck, can be depression, emotional instability, even madness to a point. It kind of affects your dream state and your nighttime, so you might be struggling there. I think with the appreciation card here, it's suggesting that you're really mindful about where you allow your mind to take you, and you nip it in the bud the minute it happens. You know, if you've got those, you know, ruminating thoughts and that, you know, constant negative feedback that, you know, that you're replaying a past memory, something that's been said, something that's been done, a hideous memory, is to be conscious before you go down the rabbit hole. And just nip it in the bud and instantly go to something you can be grateful for. Say inside your head, say outside, write it down. As I say, it doesn't matter how small it is, but they accumulate as you even go through your day. The smallest thing, you know, my bed sheets, my cat, my dog, my child, my dinner. The smallest things, you know, and you just try and balance the scales in the favour of the positive, but and watch that opponent doesn't take you down that rabbit hole, because once you're down there, you can be down there a hell of a long time. Because with Iris here, it is suggesting that the rainbow will come out after the rain, and again, this is suggesting that you focus on the positives. It's asking you in Iris what needs to be released. There is an element of patience here as well, but it's also saying that the storm doesn't last forever. So it is a very transformative time, but it's very much a case of you getting in control of your own mind and not letting it take you to dark places. I almost wish I hadn't clarified further, but I do have a female here with the whip. Now, this can be either of two things. This can be the feminine herself, and I keep picking up on females that men shouldn't go back to, and I don't know what's going on. The whip is, this is somebody who takes things by force. This is someone who's very aggressive. This is actually someone who likes to punish people, is very argumentative. Yeah, there's nothing positive about the whip, basically. So either this is a feminine that you've been dealing with, that's possibly put you in this headspace, and or it's indeed how you feel about this woman. You know, you feel you'd quite like to whip her, you know, punish her, be aggressive towards her, and get in an argument with her. This is maybe someone that just sets you off in a really negative mindset. Yeah, but there's a feminine here that's causing some issues. She is at the opposite side of appreciation, and Epona's on the other side. So she came through as an archetype of a god. I'm assuming what I'm taking her as her negative attributes, because I do have the whip here, which is probably one of maybe even the most negative card in this deck. This is somebody who's very cruel, basically, and very controlling. So either it is a romantic partner, it can be a boss, it can be a mother, a sister, an auntie, whatever it may be, but it is most definitely a feminine, and there's some serious issues around this feminine. So if it is, if I'm reading for a masculine here, and this is a feminine you're dealing with, and you've had a breakup in the past, and there's been some deception, and you now feel that you're on the clock here, to get this relationship back on track, and it is an absolute possibility that that could be a huge success, or it could be another relationship entirely. I'm coming back to my, I think it's my sorry, my Virgo reading, was it? Which one was that? Was that the... I've had one reading that was choose one woman, and I've had another reading it's don't go back to this woman, and now I'm getting a woman with the whip here. So there is a bit of a theme running through these for my regulars. You'll know what other signs are yours, so that's it. The chances of success are incredibly high, but there are definitely some issues. The message from the universe is after sadness comes hope, and a return of happiness. My butterflies in gloom. This is very iris of the rainbow. You know, after the storm, the rainbow comes out. Speak to your friends. Get support where you need it. There's a lot of cooperation and help around you. There may be a special friend that you can speak to about this. I sort of feel it's someone older, Taurus, with my sage card here. You know, a grandpa, an uncle. It's definitely someone that could probably give you some really good sage advice here. Someone that you probably look up to. It may be someone who's quite spiritual. This is usually my hermit card. Someone who keeps to themselves. But I kind of see it's an older person. But there's someone here who's more than happy to help you if you want to reach out to them. And they may help you with this decision. Oh gosh, yeah, that did fly off. I had my compass in reverse here up on how to raise your vibration. This is suggesting that you're not looking at something closely enough. That there's maybe some sort of clues that you've missed with regards to whatever you're dealing with. There's something you need to be looking closer at, Taurus. So that's it. I will leave it there, and I hope you do find that useful. Please like, subscribe, comment, and if you would like a personal, all my information is below. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.